Rob, thank you for joining us. After Saturday's draw to Reading, we've got another exciting test coming up at the Broadfield Stadium with CHARLTON Athletic are the visitors on Tuesday night. Can I get your thoughts ahead of that one?
Yes, another big game, isn't it, for the club? Obviously, having two ex-Premier League clubs come to Broadfield, and two top six sides. So we'll be looking to show that resilience and character that we did on Saturday, and hopefully we can continue the performance in terms of the way we dealt with Reading and as game went on. Getting the goal back and the way you kept pushing. I think it's probably a good opportunity for us to go against what is one of the most informed teams in the league. And since we played them at the Valley, they've probably been on one of the best runs in the Football League, let alone just this league. So it's going to be a really tough game, but it should be a brilliant night under the lights for the fans. And just want us to continue the mentality towards the game and keep trying to improve and keep showing that determination, that grit, because you can only take one game at a time. And I think the big thing for me is if we get the performance, we get the attitude, then there's points there for us.
Yeah, and obviously we touched on what was a good performance against Reading on Saturday. You would have obviously had a chance to watch it back. Was there anything in particular that pleased you, having come off the back of a few tough defeats?
Yeah, I think obviously the squad getting slightly stronger always helps, with Toby coming back, and obviously hopefully we'll have a couple more back for tomorrow. I think the pleasing thing for me is that when the game did have its turning moments, and even though they got the goal, it didn't deter us. Sorry, Sam, I can't speak today. Right. It didn't deter us, and I thought as the game went on, we got a foothold in it, and we pushed second half, dominated the game in terms of the possession. Second half especially, we just talked about getting more bodies in the box, and that's where the goal comes from. We've been talking about that a lot last few games, but particularly yesterday and particularly for tomorrow as well. We've got to commit bodies to the box. You've got to commit fully to the attack, get as many bodies in the box as possible, and trust that it's coming in. And I think that's the evolution for us, and that's the thing we need to adapt to for Tuesday, because we're getting the box entries, we're getting into the areas where we can really influence the goal. We're just not committing enough bodies, and we need that positive mentality to go and score. The mindset of the players got to be to get in the box and score like Pan did, and then obviously on the back of that, you've got to be able to defend, you've got to put your body on the line, you've got to be willing to run, you've got to be willing to work, you've got to be willing to give everything for the club and the team. And I think that's what I saw Saturday, and that's what I want to see again tomorrow.
Yeah, we obviously beat CHARLTON at the Valley earlier on in the season. As you've already touched on, they've been on a very impressive run. I think since they've only probably lost a couple of games since we actually played them, all the way back in December. Is there anything that specifically changed about them? Have they sort of changed their style? Because at the time there was a lot of noise around the club at that point, and a lot of people were calling for Nathan Jones to go. But since then they've gone on this incredible run. So is there anything you can put that down to? Yeah,
I think it's injuries as well. They're missing 4 or 5 key players. Campbell and Small have been influential in terms of giving them pace and attacking threat in the wide areas. So they've obviously got a source for crosses and a source for stretching the pitch. Whereas when we played them, they was very narrow and very compact. With CHARLTON, they back their physicality. They go man for man over the pitch, and it'll be a tough game. It won't be the most. I don't predict to be in the most fluid game. They will try and play, and we'll, as we always do, and we try and control the football. But I do think it'll be a bit like Saturday, where 2 teams will try and disrupt each other. But no, fair play to Nathan. I think that just shows being consistent and sticking with it, and taking in everything into circumstance with injuries and with personnel. He's done a brilliant job. But that's them, and we want to make sure that we take advantage of players coming back from fitness. Hopefully Jeremy Kelly will be involved tomorrow in some capacity. Toby's come back, Flinty's training again, so he'll be back soon. Junior's getting back to full fitness, which is good. Junior's getting back sharp where he is, and hopefully the squad's getting stronger and stronger every week. And the patch that we had with the last few games will hopefully won't be reflected in the fact of the strength of the squad again. We still need to do things better, we still need to be better, and still need to pick up points, but I think that's the biggest thing for me, is we need to be consistent, and hopefully we just get stronger in each position.
Yeah, and obviously the gap to safety has now grown to 9 points. That's certainly the biggest margin we've had in quite some time. What's the messaging to the players to sort of keep them away from that? Because although it is a large gap, it's certainly mathematically possible. So is there any sort of specific messaging you have to give the players surrounding that?
All we can concentrate on is is Tuesday. We concentrate on Saturday. I thought we put in a better performance. I think we looked a bit more like us that we have done previously. And we just probably didn't commit enough bodies forward to the attack that we spoke about. And we did second half, we got the goal, and obviously, could have potentially won it at the end, despite the decision to not allow the play to continue, but we will never know. And then with the 9 point gap, yes, it's a big gap. But ultimately, if we win Tuesday, then we can reassess it then, and we've got to play, I think, 4 of the teams at home that are around us. So you never say never, you never stop, you never give up, and you keep going, you keep pushing, you keep trying to get better, and you keep trying to get the results and the performances like we've done all season. And yeah, sometimes when you're at your lowest is when people show their true character, and it gives an opportunity for people to step up and, you know, drive forward, drive the club, drive themselves, drive the team forward, and that's what we're looking to do.
Yeah, the Broadfield Stadium is notoriously a very hard place to come. I think it becomes even a harder place to come on a Tuesday evening. We've seen a lot of victories here on Tuesday nights, important victories of that, like the Lincoln game, like the Stevenage game recently. How much of an impact can the fans have, you know, to make this a very hard place to come? Because the original fixture was obviously meant to be New Year's Day. That had sold out, so a lot of people have still got tickets to this one. So we're expecting around 5,000 people or more. So we need to just make this place an absolute fortress, don't we?
Yeah, and that's all we can ask. You know, you got to ask players to give everything, and obviously the fans to give everything for us, which they have done. I thought the reception after the game Saturday was brilliant. You know, and I thought that the reaction to the players, the fact they give everything, and we just couldn't quite get the winner at the end. And that's exactly what fans want to see. It's what I want to see, and and I think that's exactly what we want to what we want to do to attack Tuesday. And like you said, yes, there's been disappointments this year, and the league position isn't where we want to be. However, again, it's inviting the next Premier League club, a big club, to the Broadfield, and you know, it's a fantastic challenge for us to go and try and get points against what is a very, very good team and a big club that I know well. So I think we've all got to try and enjoy the occasion. We've got to back each other, just give everything for the cause, and hopefully that can lead us to get a result.